make video?
Yeah, bro.
Let's go, boys. What's up? I feel like doing a bit of a chill video. It's old. I get it. It's old. 3x3. Let's do a video game 3x3. All right. So number one. What's my favorite video game of all time? Let's start off with Simpsons Hit and Run. One of the first PlayStation 2 games I played. It was always going to be on this thing. I played this game before I played any of the GTA games. So if anything, GTA had to live up to this for me. It was just next level when it came to, first of all, being funny. A very funny game. Being able to give me an appreciation for Simpsons in a way that I hadn't done before. I didn't watch a lot of Simpsons, but I wanted to after playing this game. And this game was also, I think, one of the first open world games, like one of the first original open world games I played. Going around the map and being able to do things and choosing which way to go. This game introduced that for me. So that's definitely on there. I'd probably put... This is one of the first PC games that I owned myself. And it's Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Now book. I don't want the book. I've read the book. Give me the game. In terms of being able to control the story, like that I've read since I was a child, this was basically groundbreaking for me. Encompassing the creepy aspect, introducing new spells, which I thought was really cool. It was also a game that I had seen on the shelf and I was like, okay, I'm getting that game. It's Harry Potter. And at the time I was on a Harry Potter craze and absolutely loved it. And it was just next level. I remember just like coming home and be like, Mom, can I go on the computer, please? I want to play a game. But this game was that good for me. And I know it's not like the most amazing, groundbreaking game. I know that a lot of people are gonna like go past it, but it was the best book for me. It was the best movie for me, and the game was just next level as well. It was a game. If any of the books needed a game, it was that one, just because of how creepy it was. And it was open world, and it took me so long to collect all the cards. The cards in that game were such a pain to collect because the game would automatically complete if you already had 75 of the 80 by the end, and you're like, no, I've got to play the whole game again just to get those bonus cards at the end. So it's like you had to be smart about it. There comes a point in the game where if you stop playing, you can get all the cards, but if you play one of the missions, you're then locked to the end of the story. 100 playing game was done for the first time when I played Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Oh, what else would I put there? I guess Spider-Man 2 was another game I got like absorbed into. Not Mysterio. Mysterio was funny though in that game. What an idiot. Let's get those graphics. Spider-Man was special as a game because I'd seen the film, and then same as Prince of Azkaban, being able to control aspects of the story myself through the game was a big deal, but probably has the best gameplay mechanic in a game I've ever used. Web swinging is my favorite gameplay mechanic. I can go back and play Spider-Man 2 multiple times and it's aged like hell, but swinging through the city is still a lot of fun. Okay, so this is going to be there and it's going to make a lot of people groan. But it's the first console game that was purchased for me after I got my PlayStation 2. It was an amazing game. An amazing game. We've got the PS2 version. I was a huge football fan. Like, I loved football. I'm not too much into it now, but I loved football when I was a kid. And being able to see these players that I've seen on TV and then being able to control them and seeing how good I was a lot of fun. Yeah, look at that. Quality. I love player swapping, which is so unbelievably like childish, but that concept was amazing for me. And then I'd go on to play FIFA 5 and FIFA 6, make my own players. But FIFA 4 is the one that made me love playing football games. It's for me personally, it's dropped off heavily now. It doesn't carry the same magic as it does back then. And it is something that I associate with like the childhood side of me. And it's going to stay there probably, but it was an amazing game. I don't feel guilty for adding it because this game was important to me. I don't want it to be fully nostalgia though. It can't just be all these old games that I played. Games that I played recently, so it's not old, but definitely like a generation ahead. I'm playing this game right now as part of a long play. Not that game. I don't like that game. I like this game. Yeah, I'm gonna try and keep it to one game per franchise as well. I don't want to rinse it by having multiple games from the same franchise. Yeah, I think easily best Assassin's Creed game of all time. It's a shame it was so early on because they've struggled to capture the magic that Assassin's Creed 2 had for me. Oh, that's disgusting. But yeah, Assassin's Creed 2. If you have like 25 million hours to spare and you end up watching my long play, this is the only game that's ever triggered some kind of philosophical thought for me. I guess that's what I'd say. It makes me like, because of the aspects of a character trying to find his place and being fueled almost fully by anger and revenge, and he's learning from Altair through the Codex about what it means to be human. It obviously like when you read that kind of stuff in the database entries in the game, it's impossible not to also take that yourself, at least the way I see it. It actually helped me attain a level of like spirituality that I never thought I'd to be able to obtain. Is that cringe? It's a video game, stupid games, but ultimately such an amazing story, an amazing character that you only end up loving more when you play Brotherhood and Revelations, and it's special. It's special to me, and it's the first next-gen game that I got on PS3. It's probably the best gift my dad has ever got me in my entire life, and it was so much fun to play. And then at the time, the graphics for me were revolutionary. I played FIFA 10 and I was like, this looks so real. And then I played this game and I was like, this looks so real. Oh man, I love that game so much. Assassin's Creed 2 is definitely up there. Oh, what else would I put there? I guess I'm gonna do another throwback game. This is one of the first PC games I ever played, like when I had my old like white PC. Sonic 3D? Is that what it was called? It wasn't Sonic 3D. It was Sonic 3D Blast. I believe it's this. 996. That makes sense. It was Sonic 3D Blast. Or was it a Sonic 3D? Flicks Island. What? Flicky's Island. Is that what it was? Yes, it was. Sonic 3D Flicky's Island. That's what it was. This game was amazing. Yeah, one of the first games I ever owned on PC. I think it came with the PC. I think that's why I had it. I don't know what kind of deal that was. But Flicky's Island, because there were Flickies. I remember the Flickies. Yeah. Can't just zoom in. Oh, too much. But Flicky's Island was one of the first video games that I personally owned. I used to play a lot of games at like my cousin's house growing up, because I wasn't allowed to play games on my computer. But then we got a computer, brand new, and it was like, this is one of the best things I ever played. And the boss battles were really good in this. Fighting Dr. Robotnik in this game was so much fun, and it was hard. Like, being somebody at that point, it was one of my first games I played. I wasn't into video games. I wasn't good at them. So I consider it a genuine challenge playing this game. It was so complicated, but rewarding. As a child, beating Dr. Robotnik was one of the most exhilarating feelings, and I need to emulate that game. I need to find that game and play it again. What else did I used to play? Let's go for a nice story narrative that I've played. I guess I'll go, because I did really enjoy it. I think I'm gonna go for the new God of War game. It was actually really good. Thank you, epicgames.com. Top the Empire State Building. This shit is like child's play. Children now want to annihilate, kill them. Sorry, mate. The now is just stuck in my head. Wait, hold on. They're porting God of War to PC. Wait, hold on. Okay, I am so behind. God of War. God of what? Spell. No way. Should I buy that now? Why am I so slow on this stuff? Should I just do it? No, wait. Okay. Maybe wait until Black Friday. Maybe there'll be a discounted pre-purchase. I have no idea, but why am I well, I'm definitely adding it now. Cheers, Epic Games and Steam and PC guys. I appreciate that. The annoying thing is that it's like, that's definitely been a thing for a while, and I've only just realized. That's so annoying. How have I only just realized? Alright, enough of that. You had the character before that didn't have the quality to be able to repress his anger. It was just rage, like full rage, right? But then you have the father character, the dad character now that he has something he cares about, he will repress that in order to keep his son safe. And it's a very interesting metaphor on the whole father's repressed anger and how it affects the children. It's a struggle that I'm assuming that a lot of people go through in real life. I've definitely gone through in real life. I feel like I myself deal with a lot of repressed anger. The game is all about using the capacity to love to be able to trump that. Father who will do anything to protect his son, but he learns to be able to have his son be a part of his violent life, because shunning him and saying that he's too weak to handle it, he's not strong enough to handle it, has only made the situation worse. It's all about being able to have trust in the ones you love, even if you think that they might not be capable. When it comes to family, you need to take that risk. And from that aspect, I love this narrative. The gameplay, I know that people love the actual combat in this game, like how high impact it is, how just brutal it is. It's not my preferred type of gameplay because it's not the combat in games that really get me in. I like a good story, and the gameplay should be able to complement that. It should, for me, it's second. I know it's a video game, so people are saying gameplay should be the most important thing, but for me, no, it needs to be a side thing. I want to be transported somewhere else, and the story does that for me, not the gameplay. And this story was absolutely amazing, with like plot twists that I wasn't expecting, with the characters that were just hilarious or had incredibly deep meaning. It is a great game. Alright, what else have I got? I've only got 2 modern games. Let's go for another modern game. I guess for now, it'll be a bit of a placeholder now, unless I can come up with something. But I really, really like the new Tomb Raider game. Why this was important for me, where's the one? I wanted a decent stealth-based third-person shooter. This was on sale at the time on Steam. So I didn't hear a lot about it, and I thought, okay, I'll get it. And I downloaded it, and I never played it, really. I kind of put it aside for like these Assassin's Creed games, which I was heavily into during my first couple of years at uni. And then I watched a Conan video of him playing it, and I said, okay, I'll play it too. And then I ended up falling in love with it. Does it have the best graphics? Definitely not. Does it have the best combat? Definitely not. It's a standard third-person shooter like you get in Uncharted. Essentially Uncharted but woman. Did it have the wit of Uncharted? Not even that. But having said that, it was very revolutionary for me because it got me into what Lara Croft could be. I wasn't a fan of the character in the original games because it was just a generic female action kind of hero who can do backflips and shoot people. Like, there's nothing realistic about that, and I can't empathize, or feel for that kind of character. She's clearly overpowered, and that's it. Whereas there was a level of vulnerability to this character which made me love it, and that's why I really wanted to watch the movie when it came out, because Alicia Vikander portrayed that aspect, a vulnerable Lara Croft, so well that it just made the film a lot of fun. But ultimately, the film is nothing compared to the game for me. The game was so good. It was, it still embraced the mystical, like, non-realistic element of the original games. Like, you have, ghost queens and force fields and like immortal bodyguards that have lived for hundreds of years, but everything else about it was so grounded, it just it almost made it seem entirely believable. Games don't pull that off ordinarily. And then having said that, and just using the analogy I just used, I am gonna put Uncharted 4 on it. What an absolutely amazing game that for some reason took me so long to come up with just now. What? This game. Oh my god, this game. I wasn't a big fan of Nolan North, and when I say I don't mean I hated him, I mean I just didn't know a lot about him. Only thing I knew him at that point was Desmond Miles in Assassin's Creed and Deadpool in the Deadpool game. And he was better in Deadpool, right? Because I watched a lot of Deadpool footage. I think I just got randomly tagged on YouTube into watching a lot of Nolan North content. And I got a lot of Nolan North funny moments compilations. And then I realized that Nathan Drake's a real person. I don't think I've ever played any other game that looks like they've actually pulled a guy off the street and just had him act comically. It did not look like somebody was mocapped into being that guy. He seemed like an actual person. And then that level of realism drew me in. And then I was like, wow, just wow. The mocap is so unbelievably good. And the voice acting was amazing. Why aren't these guys acting in movies? Because they should. And then I watched the entire, before playing the game, I watched the entire PewDiePie Uncharted 4 gameplay, the Let's Play, and it was one of the best series I've ever seen. Like, I loved that series, and I had to play it myself. And what was it? Thanks Mariku, your mate gave me the game for 20 quid as well. It was a bargain at the time. I played it as close as I could to 100% completion as I could, because I could not get enough of it. I could not get enough at all. I ended up buying the Nathan Drake trilogy. I completed the first one in about a week, the second one in 2 days, and the third one I finished in 1 day on crushing difficulty. Do you know how powerful I felt after that? It was amazing. And it's one of the best third-person shooters I've ever played in my life, Uncharted 4, and it just looks amazing. The story is so good. A lot more realistic than the first 3 games, and I appreciated that because they made him very vulnerable in this game. He almost lost everything in this game in pursuit of this treasure that he didn't even really want, but he's addicted to the hunt. That's why he's addicted to the thrill, and he learns to give it up for the people he cares about, and that level of self-sacrifice is admirable in a character. I know how much I've just been thinking about it. I know how much people love this game, but I would actually get rid of it. I would get rid of it for this game. It's not very old, I know, and it's like, oh wow, this game just came out the other year and you're saying it's one of the best games ever. But I would take this game because it's an improvement over the old Spider-Man games to such a phenomenal amount that itself is a huge accomplishment. Okay, Spider-Man 2 is so beloved as a video game and as a movie that this game was going up against everything to to be better. It was going up, like, there was no, people could have just rejected this game. But they got Insomniac Games, who are amazing developers. They got amazing actors like Yuri Lowenthal in this game. Yuri Lowenthal was a monster. He is, no question, my favorite iteration of Peter Parker / Spider-Man in any medium. I love the Tom Holland version of Spider-Man, and I love the Tobey Maguire version of Spider-Man even more. Tom Holland was an amazing Spider-Man, and Peter pun intended, and Tobey Maguire was an amazing Peter Parker. But Yuri Lowenthal was an amazing both of them. And that is the genius of this game. An open world New York, which was well done. It wasn't like the most amazing map. It had a little bit of backdrop elements. You couldn't really interact with a lot of the environment. A couple of the people you could, and some small Easter eggs. But it was basically a backdrop. But a healthy amount of side missions, which made you, I was actually unironically about to say feel like Spider-Man. Don't say feel like Spider-Man. But combat elements that you haven't really explored in other Spider-Man games, okay? The stealth aspect, like, it never occurred to me that Spider-Man would make an amazing stealth character, and the stealth aspect of Spider-Man's combat in this game was so much fun to do. The boss fights were amazing, and they were varied. The way you had to go up against Scorpion was so different from the way you had to go up against Rhino, and the way you had to go up against Mr. Negative was so much different to the way you had to go against Dr. Octopus. You had to employ different things. The gadgets were fun. The suits were so much fun to use. The fact that you can play as the Sam Raimi version of Spider-Man, that suit, it's a game that cared about the fan. And you don't get a lot of those games, especially from these big studio companies. Cannot wait for Spider-Man 2 on PS5. I cannot wait. It's going to be an amazing game. I did one revision, but I think that's it. I think these are my favorite games. I'm trying to think of others. Honorable mentions will go stuff like the old DOSBox games. I love Jetpack, Nightmare 3D, that kind of stuff. Some of the earlier games that I played. Other games that I played recently, Inside was a very good game. Oh, what else is there? That's it. I started playing Horizon Zero Dawn. I find it very hard to just get into console-based games recently, and I've only played Horizon Zero Dawn recently, but I'll probably do a let's play on that, a long play on that at some point, as soon as I can get myself into it. This was fun. Yeah, these are my favorite games of all time. I think I'm happy with that. Oh my god, I'm actually so stupid. How have I forgotten this? How have I forgotten this game out of all games? Look, I swear, look, this is how you just know I just haven't played console games in a while, okay? But this is easily, oh my god, this is one of the only games that's actually ever made me cry. How have I forgotten this game? I should go to jail, honestly. I should honestly go to jail. What an amazing game, and a game that should just be like in the annals of history as not just a great video game, but one of the greatest stories ever told, and something that evokes the kind of emotion you don't get in TV shows and movies these days. I would probably, I think out of everything, I would probably get rid of Tomb Raider. Well, it's still a good game. Tomb Raider is a good game, but my god, this game, I can't say enough about this game. Look, okay, look, I overstepped it. I've probably missed out some glaringly obvious stuff, in which case let me know, and if you come up with a good argument, I will change it. I'll say okay, fine, I'll take this game out for that if that's the case, but I cannot have a finished 3x3 if The Last of Us is not in there, because it takes a tried and tested formula of surviving the zombie apocalypse, but instills it with decisions that are so hard to put yourself into the same position without and being able to say yes, I can make that decision easily, because it really plays on what you know is wrong, but you care too much about it that you will say god damn the consequences. And some of the best acting, Troy Baker and what's her name? Ashley Johnson, that's her name. Just what amazing acting. People hate the second game. I love the second game. There's an argument to be made that I might even love the second game more than the first game, but it's the idea that The Last of Us 2 brought back the feelings I had from the first Last of Us when I played The Last of Us 2, which means that The Last of Us ultimately steps up way more. I cannot believe I forgot this game. I'm so sorry. I'm so... Dr. Ruckman. Mr. Druckmann, I'm sorry. He's not watching. Yeah, that's my 3x3. That's my 3x3. Is that my 3x3? Maybe it's my 3x3. I don't know. Okay, yeah. We're gonna call it there. This is it. Like I said, I'll make changes to it if you guys come up with good like responses. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Smack up the like button, smack down the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Roll credits.